This is the Juki DU1181 This is a walking foot machine, high lift, large bobbin, self-oiling machine. We're going to go through the basic procedures here of threading it up and sewing.
I'm kind of dead in the water on this one. I'm not.
Now you're going to place the bobbin on the shaft here. If it's loose like this, which they sometimes are, you're going to have to spread the shafts a little bit here. Just kind of put a screwdriver in there, bend that so the bobbin fits on there nice and tight. Now we're going to come through the hole and in between these two discs like so. And make sure you have some tension on here. Then you're going to come down here to the bobbin that we just placed on here. And probably one of the easiest things to do will be to put the thread through there like that. Depress this, like so. Hold this thread. And then what you're going to want to do is begin sewing like this. Hold on to this till the bobbin begins to wind a little bit. Clip that off. Now you can let that wind. Turn the machine up a little bit. When the bobbin gets full, this little finger will shut it off. If it shuts off a little bit early, then you're going to make a little adjustment right here on this spring. By tightening this, it's going to bend that finger back a little, which will allow you to have more thread on the bobbin. First place you're going to come with this top thread is in this little pin here. You're going to kind of weave it in there. Put it through one, come back through the other like so. And you're going to come to this tension. And just kind of go in there, get in between those two discs. And then we're going to thread it through here. Like that. Okay. Let's go in between here. Next part you're going to do is go in between these discs. So make sure you get in there, over the little spring, underneath the little loopy thing. Make sure your check spring looks like this. You've checked the check spring works properly. We're going to go a second time in here. And then we're going to go up here to your take-up lever like so. And then there's another one here. You're going to just follow these guides all the way down to the needle. Be sure that you get through the needle bar thread guide right here. So you're going to thread through this upper thread guide. Now it's real important here that you thread this machine from left to right. And don't go the other way. You're going to have a problem. So pull that thread through that needle. Okay, now you're going to take your fully wound bobbin, put this in the case like so. Put it under the spring and then pull it like that. Do not leave a lot of thread here. Cut this short. Very important here. No more than about what you see here, maybe 2.5 to 3 inches of thread at the most. Now, holding the bobbin with this is the upright position, keeping the latch open. You can reach underneath here, push your bobbin in, make sure that it's clicked fully in. The next thing you're going to want to do is start threading the machine from the The needle threaded like this, raise your foot with the knee, keep this a little bit of slack and lightly turn it and then pull on it. And what you're going to do is pull your bobbin thread up here through the top. If you've done it properly, you'll be able to pull this out easily. We'll pull our bobbin thread out and hold that thread to the back. Now we're going to get ourselves a piece of material. So we're going to raise this up with our knee. Lightly hold on to these. Make this first stitch by hand. I'm turning the hand wheel here. And if you don't hear any crunching or loud noises, it's a good idea to get rid of this needle thread now. And you should be able to go ahead and sew. Now the good part about the walking foot of this machine is it'll climb over multiple layers very easily. Now all of them have been fed same amount, eliminating puckering. Now to take the work out, you want to lift your knee lifter. If it doesn't come easily, move the hand wheel slightly. Try to keep the hand wheel turned towards you. Turning it backwards a little is okay, but don't go a full rotation in reverse, so you could jam the machine up. Let's take a look at this needle. Now, there's a right and a wrong way to put it in. So we're going to loosen this needle here. Take a look at it. Notice that that's called a scarf on this side. And over here you have a long groove. What you want to do is you want to have the long groove to the left and the little divot or scarf to the right, because the hook's going to pull that on. So when you replace the needle, since it's round, push it up all the way. Make sure that long groove is to the left and the scarf is to the right. And if it's not, take your fingers, and turn it a little bit one way or another. When it looks right, go ahead and tighten it up, and then you can thread it. And remember, left to right, long groove on the left, scarf to right. If you don't have that needle in right, you will damage this machine, so be sure that that's correct. Now we're going to look on the right side of the machine. This is the stitch length. In order to lengthen and shorten the stitch, the easy way to do that is depress the reverse lever slightly, and then the knob turns easily. The lower numbers will be shorter stitches or more per inch, and the longer numbers will be a longer stitch. Okay? It's hard to turn if you don't press this down. When you want to perform a back tack stitch, be sure that when you sew, that you depress this completely. If you push it just a little bit, the stitches won't be the same length as they are forwards. All the way down will give you a back tack of the same stitch length. Now we're going to show you how to change how high each one of these feet walk. Right now the machine is set to walk very low. So when you come up to a bump, it's going to have trouble going over it. This is a good setting for very light materials, nylons and things, but if you're doing heavy upholstery like this, you're going to have a problem going over this. So we're going to make a small adjustment here we're going to show you. Take the 14mm wrench that comes with your machine and loosen this nut here on the back. If this is all the way down, the feet are all the way down, they don't walk very high. To get more lift, with this nut loosened, raise this to its highest point, and then just tighten that up. Now the feet will be able to walk higher amount. Now that we raised that slider all the way up, the feet will come up. Now if you notice the difference on how high each foot walks, it's increased about 3 times. Now on heavy work, it'll easily climb over these seams. So if you're having trouble getting over them, make that adjustment. The factory setting is about in the middle, and you can leave it there. Also, if you change the presser feet to a welt foot or something else, there may be some other adjustments that might be done. You may want to bring your machine or let us know so we can do that for you. The oil required by this machine, tip it back, fill it up to the high mark. The machine should oil itself. A small amount of oil will come out of the hook here, and you should see some oil collecting under here after a while. That's normal. There is one other spot you need to oil. When we move that slider, there's also a red dot that needs to be oiled. Coming across the machine, you'll notice there is a couple more places like that. Anywhere you see a red dot there, you need to put a little bit of oil maybe once a week on this machine. If you opted for our servo motor, you notice underneath the speed can be changed. You can go down as slow as 350 and you can turn it way up. At no time on an 1181 should you turn this past about the 2200. 2 other features that we provide are adjustable K-legs, which have adjustments here to raise the height, and a really high quality tabletop made in the USA out of plywood. It's not going to sag. You'll be happy with that.